Even though it's still early February, no signs we'll be rising to near normal for high temperatures anytime soon. Actually, coldest of this stretch coming Saturday. And unfortunately, it's looking like we may be seeing rising gas prices. Don't just take my word for it. Let's ask one of the nation's leading experts on the topic. Guest buddies, Patrick DeHaan. Patrick, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Let's start bigger picture for things before we zoom into New York State and Syracuse area. What are you seeing right now with the national average price of gasoline? Where are we going? Where are we headed?
Yeah, you know, after 7 straight weeks of declining prices, we have seen a little bit of a bump up here as we move into February. The national average now at $2.89 a gallon. That's about 15 cents higher than the recent low. So prices are trending a little bit higher, though I think the bigger trend upward will be waiting in the next couple of weeks, especially for areas like New York and Syracuse. You are the last region of the nation to make the switch or start the switch back over to summer gasoline. That's a little over a month away. And with it, we will see higher prices. But for now, a little bit of an increase. Syracuse up only 2 cents in the last week. That has to do with oil prices that have bounced up off recent lows because of some geopolitical tensions and the cold weather pushing diesel prices up far more noticeably. The average price for diesel in Syracuse jumped 10 cents a gallon in the last week. That's as inventories of diesel and distillates in the Northeast plummeted 20% on the heels of the cold weather. And so that is why diesel prices are making that jump up. Gasoline prices following a little bit as oil prices have jumped to about $63 a barrel.
That national jump of 15 cents you mentioned there, little blip still, or is that are we going to kind of steadily see that keep going up on the national level?
Yeah, that's a bit of the tip of the iceberg as it relates to developments between the U.S. and Iran. There was some concern that the U.S. could mount an attack on Iran. So oil prices jumped for that reason. But to your point, we're going to get into the seasonality here in about 2 to 3 weeks. That's when it's more the seasonal trends that are going to lead to gas prices rising. And those seasonal trends, if it's a normal year, will push gas prices up anywhere from 25 to 65 cents as we get into spring, more so March, April, and into May. So most of the trends as we get closer to mid-February are going to start lining up to push prices higher.
You said that as you were going through some of the New York State, Syracuse prices, we're kind of the last to get that switch over to the summer blend. So do we kind of hang right around where we are right now, maybe just small little blips up and down for the next few weeks, or where do you see us, let's say, over the next month of February, let's say?
Yeah, probably. There may be some time we see lower gas prices. And again, this is kind of weighing those geopolitical tensions with short-term price fluctuations. Now, there probably will be a window of opportunity. Thankfully, the supply of winter gasoline is rather high this year, and that winter gasoline is eventually going to have to be purged out of the system. A lot of the time, refineries essentially offer that at discount prices or clearance prices if you could. And so that may pave the way for lower prices just before that transition starts. Then the rug's going to get pulled, and you're going to start noticing some bigger increases probably in the month of March. So maybe a little bit of downdrafts here subject to the price of oil, but then by mid to late March, that is when the transition to summer gasoline starts, and that's when we'll probably see a little bit of sticker shock.
The cold that we have seen in the very deep south, what kind of impact has that had on refineries? And I know you talked about geopolitical pressures on prices at the pump. Has that impacted anything or not really?
Yeah, the geopolitical tensions are probably more impactful than the cold weather. The cold weather for different reasons. As you mentioned, refineries down in Texas did see some outages related to the winter weather that weren't really so problematic. I think what the biggest factor we saw with the really cold weather is natural gas shutting down temporarily. Diesel and heating oil then picked up the slack to heat homes in the absence of stable natural gas supplies. That caused natural gas prices to skyrocket. Diesel prices are probably going to continue to rise for the next couple of weeks because of the tremendous demand that cold weather played a role. Now, refineries, as I mentioned, weren't too impacted from that winter weather. Thankfully, a lot of that's cleared out. Refineries kind of getting back to normal now. The next few weeks, though, a little bit bumpy, but then by March, I think we're going to solidly start to see prices climbing on a nearly weekly basis.
As you've said to us many a times, it's seasonal. It happens every year around that time, and it's going to again. Hey, Patrick, it's always great to catch up with you, just kind of see where we are when we're filling up that gas tank there. Thanks very much. We'll talk again sometime soon.
Thanks for having me.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.